In this video, I'd like to talk about cell phones, smartphones, Android phones in particular. I'm an Android user, have been for years. I used to have an iPhone back, several years ago. The last iPhone I had, or used rather, was a iPhone 3G, and I thought I liked it. I really did. I thought I liked it until I went to upgrade the phone, and I was talked into a Galaxy S2. And ever since then, it's been all Android ever since. Loved that S2. But every phone that I've ever had, I've always rooted it. I've always loaded stock Android onto it. I've, either CyanogenMod or Paranoid Android or AOSP or countless others. So when the Nexus 5 was announced back in 2013, 2014, somewhere around those lines, somewhere right around in there, it really piqued my interest because, like I said, I've always used stock Android on non-stock Android type devices. So I bought one and loved it. Used it for a couple of years. This thing was great. I actually have it right here. And this was the 16 gig variant. This thing was super fast for its time. Snapdragon 800, I think. 16 gigs of onboard storage. And yeah, this thing was great. The only problem I had with it was that it didn't have an SD card slot in it, and it wasn't very loud. That was the only two things I had to complain about this. So, but other than that, great phone. Solid, super solid. Loved it. And it started showing its age a couple years later, and it was not going to receive updates much longer, and the Nexus 5X was announced. That one really piqued my interest too, so I picked one of those up. 32 gig variant, and loved this phone. Not quite as much as I loved this phone, but very, very good phone. I've been super pleased with it. Used it for probably 2-3 years now, and everything was better about this phone as far as hardware specs go. The camera was much better in this one. The processor was faster. Had more RAM, more internal storage. 16 gigs versus 32 gigs. And as the years drug on, this started kind of showing its age too. It's not receiving updates anymore, as far as security updates or anything like that. So both phones are actually running Lineage. Both phones are actually running Lineage now. So, and I'm using this one as a non-Googleized Lineage phone. And this one is pretty much an iPod. So, I was in the market for a new phone because, like I said, this one was kind of showing its age. And since the Labrum 5 has not been released yet, been waiting on that one. And the direction that I've seen the smartphones going to larger screens, curved screens, no headphone jack, no SD card even, no, just a slab with a charging port, and that's it. Everything else is wireless. Yeah. So, lo and behold, the Google Pixel 3a is announced. And this ticks off almost every box for my phone. There are certain things that I wanted to have. I wanted to have a flat screen, big battery, stock Android, and a headphone jack. That is important to me. That headphone jack. Had to have it. And for $400 off contract's really not bad. I really wish it had an SD card. And I wish it was a little bit louder. Just like I wish this one was louder. Just like I wish this one was louder. starting to see kind of a pattern. This one is louder than the other two, but it's still not quite loud enough. I think I may be going deaf or something. Who knows? But I've been pleased with that one too. And the thing I've been most pleased about it has been the camera. For the price, this camera right here is the best camera you can get at this price point, hands down. Love this camera. With it being a $400 phone, the camera's as good as it is. It runs stock Android. It's got a headphone jack, flat, no curved screen, and it ticks all the boxes I want except for the SD card. So I don't know. I think I found my phone for the foreseeable future. So there's certain things I don't like about it. But I haven't liked that about almost every smartphone I've ever had, because I don't know who asked for thinner phones, because I sure didn't. This phone here is pretty thin, and this phone is probably 6 years old. It's a Nexus 5. This phone here is an iPhone 4. This thickness here is about right. This thickness is fine. When we went to this thickness, why change? Because with the advancements in the battery technology, the battery that came in this phone was nothing to write home about. The battery that came in this phone, nothing to write home about. The battery life started getting better in this phone. And the battery life is pretty good in this phone. But imagine if this phone were as thick as this phone. You could get 3 days out of that. You can get 3 days. Easy. Why is this not a thing? Why is this not a thing? I do not understand. Because it's not like it would be any harder to put it in your pocket. Okay, because look. Really? Make the phones a little thicker. Put bigger batteries in them. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that because it bothers me. I don't understand why people want thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner phones. Put a little girth in them. Almost cursed. Put a little girth in them. Put a big honking battery in it. Make it last 3 days, 4 days. Why not? Because this would be awesome if it had better battery life and was a little bit louder. That's it. SD card too. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. It's really been bugging me. I don't get it. I really don't. Go back with thicker phones. Put bigger batteries in them. Give me an SD card slot and a Pixel. Give me an SD card slot and a Pixel. I would buy it. I would spend the extra money for it. Because I don't use Google Cloud stuff. I don't use it. I don't want it. If I wanted to use a cloud service, I would use my own. I would roll my own. I would set up Nextcloud and have it running on my little box down here and be done. Use it and just use it on my own Wi-Fi, my own little personal Dropbox. Perfect. And then have an SD card slot with all my important stuff on it. That way I don't have to access the little box outside of my network. Who needs it? It'd be perfect. So, anyway, ran over. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And, yeah. So, if you enjoy this content, consider subscribing. Hit the like button. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good night.